We're going to turn now to the crisis over Ukraine. Overnight, Crimea moved clocks forward 2 hours to be on Moscow time. And with Russian troops continuing to mass on the Ukraine border, Secretary of State John Kerry will engage in some last-ditch diplomacy with Russia's foreign minister today in Paris. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran is there. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. The very fact that Secretary of State Kerry has flown here for these talks is in and of itself a good sign. That's because there is so much tension right now and so much uncertainty on both sides about what the other side might do. And Ukraine remains on a hair trigger. This is the flashpoint of the world right now. Russian tanks and troops pouring up to the tense border between Russia and Ukraine. Routine military exercises? That's what Russia claims. But at the Pentagon, deep skepticism.
We don't have a full knowledge of their intent, but regardless of the intent, it does nothing to de-escalate the tension. U.S.
intelligence agencies now estimate there are up to 40 to 50,000 Russian troops along Ukraine's eastern borders. So what does Putin want? Across the lands of the former Soviet Union, there are millions of ethnic Russians, just like in Crimea. Putin now claims the right to defend all of them, whatever that means. President Obama, in response, is rallying European allies and warning of the dangers of Putin's new doctrine.
In the 21st century, the borders of Europe cannot be redrawn with force.
Fine words, but Obama's real options are limited. The White House has ruled out a military response, and some European leaders are deeply reluctant to impose tough sanctions on Russia that might derail their own fragile economies. So Mr. Obama has tried another tack, belittling Russia altogether.
Russia is a regional power that is threatening some of its immediate neighbors, not out of strength, but out of weakness.
After Crimea, some analysts say, that sounds unconvincing.
The impression is that Putin has flipped the bird to the entire world, and what can the U.S. do about it? If he were to take eastern Ukraine and southern Ukraine, the U.S. wouldn't be able to do anything about that. Is that really a position of weakness?
Well, in these talks here in Paris, Russia is demanding that Ukraine change its form of government, its constitution, to give more autonomy to pro-Russian areas and change its foreign policy, pledging to be non-aligned rather than join Europe. The United States is insisting that only the Ukrainian people should decide all that.